All right. It's 6 o'clock now, so good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Tatro. I am the Chair of the Auburn Zoning Board of Appeals. Welcome to the Thursday, August 21st, 2025, 6 p.m. edition of the Auburn Zoning Board. I am calling this meeting to order. We have a 6 o'clock p.m. applicant this evening, Mr. Terso Tavares, and I apologize if I said that incorrectly, requesting a special permit under section 3.9.1.2 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a home occupation at 46 Harrison Avenue, Auburn, Mass., map 33, parcel 55. Is the applicant present? Sir, if you could approach the lectern to the microphone over there and give us an overview of what you'd like to accomplish. Do I have a motion to open the hearing?
Mr. Chairman, motion to open the hearing?
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, seeing none. Do we have any abutters here this evening? Just for the folks at home, we are the only people here tonight, which is unique in itself. So we do not have any abutters here this evening to discuss about this. So, to you, sir.
Okay. Yes, my name is Tirso Anatoly Taveras, and I have a small business embroidery and for embroidery teachers, towels, heat press, like screen printing. It's a family business, just me and my wife and my little baby. So, yeah, we just receive some persons, depends on appointments. When they want to drop something, I used to order from my house, from some providers, so I receive the merchandise that usually is hats or sweatshirts, polo shirts, and that kind of stuff. And that's basically what we do. I have like a small biz embroidery machine. One head is like this size, and a heat press. That's the only thing that we have.
Okay. Are you wearing some of your artwork tonight?
That's made by me.
Nice,
Yeah.
good one. I wanted to make sure. I got to give you the shout out while you were here at least. Okay, so we have nobody in the audience. I'm going to turn it over to Vice Chair Barron, to you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thanks for being here. Are you planning any signage outside the home for the business?
Probably yes. I want to do something, but like that I can move, especially when winter. But probably it's a small sign like this plastic sign that usually can be put. I can probably attach to the
So
maybe.
you're thinking something portable in the future?
Yeah, exactly.
You don't have a design now? Okay.
Exactly.
What hours will you be open? Hours of operation?
Usually by appointment, but it's between like 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. usually. I used to receive in between that hour.
And I did read the brief, Mr. Chairman. I don't have any other questions at this time. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Mr. Cossi, sir?
Yes, how about your materials? Do they get delivered, or do you pick up your materials?
From usually what I order, if I have an order for a client, I order from Alpha Brothers or SAS that is located here in Massachusetts, so they deliver it to my homes. Usually UPS but it's like boxes, not big, because it's a small business. I don't receive like big orders for.
And how often do they come? Is it like every day? Or?
Oh, no, definitely not. It's depend on orders that I receive, but unfortunately I don't receive an order every day. I wish I wish to receive. If that's the case, I probably gonna move to a local.
Right, and are you gonna have a dumpster or anything for?
No, because the only material that can be, is the what is the name? Forget. Sorry, because my English is not very good looking. The backing that we used to put in the embroidery on the back.
Yep.
That's the only thing, and it's coated, and I used to put in the bag. It's not like big bag. It's
So
small.
I happen to know, again, a little bit about this stuff. What he's saying is, there's a backing that you use, so when you put a shirt, let's say, into a machine, you slide a piece of like a material there, it keeps the shirt flat. It also helps maintain the thread contact in the
Yeah.
shirt. Kind of tightens everything up. And what they do is they just trim the inside of it off, the excess. And
Yeah,
then
they call
get
it
rid of it. So it's kind of like
stabilizer.
a dryer sheet, and the rest of it stays in there, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's a kind of fabric. It's similar.
Yeah.
But it's not
like a
like.
liner almost, pretty much.
I have no further questions.
Ms. Bush?
How many customers do you have them come every day, or is it just kind of,
I can say that can every day, usually by appointment, and as all business, we have like like not much clients. Some months, other can be more clients, but usually by appointment, especially because my wife don't speak English, too much English, so I have to receive, and this is a secondary job for me. So I don't receive like a bunch of
okay,
clients. I can say probably 10 clients per month or something like that.
okay. Okay, that's all I had.
Thank you.
Usually my client, I used to send my orders to the client because I come from Boston. I have the business of Boston before, and I have a lot of clients in Boston. And they still ordering from me, and I send back to them, and so they don't have to come to my house.
So this is more like an order online or order over the internet type of thing, and then ship it to them when it's done type of deal?
Usually,
Mostly?
Yeah, mostly, because as now, people locate me by Google Maps, so they try to reach out, and looks like there are no too much business of this around, so people usually get the
Yeah.
services. But usually they call me, they like order from, I send all the information by text, and usually they order around, and they just came to pick it up or just drop and pick it up later.
No, I mean, I think we've covered it. I don't think it's going to be a ridiculous amount of traffic in the neighborhood. You know, a few people picking up here and there. I don't think that that's really an issue.
People usually to parking in my driveway as well, so.
Yeah, that was one question I was going to ask. Is there room in your driveway if a customer comes? Is there room in the driveway for the customer to park so they're not on the street? Okay.
And honestly, that's where I like the idea of the small mobile sign, because if somebody is picking up and they're not familiar with the neighborhood, you go out there, you put your sign, they're gone, you go and you put it away after that, kind of makes it more efficient, you don't bump into the neighbor's house by mistake. So, yeah, okay. If anybody else, again, we don't have any abutters present, no other concerns. Do I have a motion to close the public portion of the hearing?
Motion to close, Mr. Chairman.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Do I have any discussion on the 6 PM applicant Terso Tavares requesting a special permit under section 3912 of the Auburn zoning bylaw for a home occupation at 46 Harrison Ave, Auburn, Mass., map 33, parcel 55?
No discussion, Mr. Chairman. I'd be prepared to make a motion to approve with standard conditions.
Do I have a second?
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, seeing none. Congratulations, sir. Good luck. I hope it goes well for you.
Thank you.
And let's hope you get maybe just a little bit of advertising just off of this hearing here, so.
Yeah, hope to make business with you guys.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Take care.
Do we have any municipality clients? And I'm not posturing for Auburn either, I'm just asking, do you have any municipal clients?
How many?
Like towns, cities or towns or anything like that?
From.
Yeah, like from, no,
I receive more right now from.
out that Boston area.
Yeah, Worcester, I'm receiving from Worcester. like,
Sure,
some
no.
clients.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I'm just asking, okay.
Good luck. Thank you.
Thank you.
Do I have a motion to close the 6 PM hearing?
Mr. Chairman, motion to close.
Appeal or no?
The what?
Appeal.
Yeah, we're gonna get to
Okay.
close this.
Oh, this hearing. Sorry.
just the
Yeah,
hearing.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. So do I have a motion to close the 6 PM hearing?
Motion to close.
Do I have a second? Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. So decisions, I think you said we were gonna be meeting on the decisions from the, we're
Oh,
gonna,
no, we have one
We have
decision
one.
signed tonight.
Okay.
That's for
car wash.
861, 879, 871, 873 Southbridge and 16 Hill, the proposed new car wash.
correct. Excellent. So we have to sign these decisions, and then we have minutes for 6/26/25.
Do not have minutes tonight. No,
Right.
I'm grading minutes for 6/26 and 7/17. I'll put them in the packets for the next meeting.
Excellent. Thank you so much. Okay, so what we really have some discussion for this evening is under new business here. So we have some 40B issues going on in town that I think some people need to be aware of. And one of them is, from the top, is there is a potential to have two separate projects going on at the same time. There is a potential to have both Athens Street and Wallace Ave before the zoning board within the next few months. So myself and the town side, if you will, had a discussion, and we thought the only true sort of fair and equitable way to make sure that everyone gets the fair attention would be to try to see if the board would be willing to schedule 2 meetings should that take place. We could simply do it as a first and the third Thursday of the month, keeping the scheduled meeting that we have now. As long as we could also decide if we wanted to schedule them a different manner, if that was the choice. As long as we kept them at least 2 weeks apart, though. That would be the key, because they have to have ample time to advertise each meeting. So, we're just here, it's open discussion, so I'll just give you each one at a time, whatever your thoughts are, and Mr. Maron, you, sir?
Given the volume and what we know, how consuming a 40B application is, I wouldn't be opposed to a second meeting a month. The only caveat for me selfishly is that I think one of those meetings is completely dedicated to the 40B applicant, so that we can take care of other residents and other applications secondarily in one of the other meetings, so it doesn't get jammed up.
So what we also thought, that was another great point, and actually, we just discussed this a few minutes ago, what we would do is, even if we kept it, so let's just hypothetically say it was the first and third Thursdays of the month, we would still put the 40B applicant as the last agenda item each time. So even if somebody came in and they wanted a shed or a pool or an addition on the house, they would be heard first, and then the 40B hearing would be held at the end of that, whatever the case may be, whatever number there was in front of them.
Okay, so we would make both meetings available for other applicants?
Well, again, that was,
I think the idea is to not do both 40Bs in the same night, because they're
Right.
just two, so purposely keeping whoever was on the first of the Thursday would always be on the first Thursday, and if somebody else applied and they wanted, but it'd be more likely that the first hearing of the month would just be dedicated to a 40B. And then the second meeting of the month, our regular meeting, would be any other applicants. I'm sure, obviously, if we're holding 2 meetings and somebody came and they want to do a shed or whatever the case may be, and they can get on the first meeting for the month, I don't see why we wouldn't, but I think, you know, some of those 40Bs go 2-3 hours, and to have 2 in the same night, that would, otherwise, then we'll just keep them on the same, but I think the idea was to keep them separated so that we'd only be dealing with one at a time. And like Bob said, keep them as the last meeting. So, I mean, I know we had someone here, I remember the woman with the young child who literally sat here until 10:45 at night because her neighbor wanted to encroach like a foot with his bulkhead. And,
Right.
I mean, that's just awful for her to have to sit here through that whole thing.
and also the reason, and again, this is all complete, open for discussion, and however the board would like to see it run. But the reason I had suggested to keep both meetings open to the public would be just because if we're here, why not give somebody the opportunity to have a second opportunity for a hearing in a month if we can benefit the homeowners in some way? If they want to put additions on, or especially now when they're talking about the by right in-law apartments, right? The accessory dwelling units and things like that. So it's kind of getting to that time of year where we might start seeing some local individual home construction close to the fall. You know, we are hitting that time.
Yeah, and I'm not opposed to it. I think it's a good strategy, by and large. And the fact that the concession is that the 40B applicant would be last on the agenda, to give other residents a chance to go up front. Categorically, I think that's a great practice. I think that it would be nightmarish, you had mentioned, I mean, it would be nightmarish to take 2 separate property 40Bs in a same night, because of what that application looks like.
Especially with other people too, right? I mean, it's one thing if it falls where we didn't have it and it's quick, but, you know, you get 3 or 4 other hearings in 2
No, no, police isn't even as big as this.
And mix it
We could all meet over there with a remote, how's that?
With
There'd be no
public,
issues.
With the butters.
Yeah, we probably can't even fit them all in the room, actually. The only consideration that I, you know, thought of when I talked about this with Bob earlier is that, you know, we did run into the problem on Perry Place where you can only miss 1 meeting. So that also makes it something to think about is that, you know, we all have lives, we all have things. I know for sure I'm traveling for work both in October and November, which means I'm absolutely gonna miss a meeting. So then,
Well, as long as you miss one, we can't miss two,
You
that's
miss
all.
another
So you can miss
one.
one per,
right,
One per.
yeah.
one per here, right. So, you know, that's just another consideration for us as the board, is that, you know, we have to be careful about,
And we don't have to make a decision tonight either. I just
they're
like
not
to
on the
hear
agenda
everybody's-
yet.
You know, yeah, and they haven't even, we don't even have formal applications in front of the ZBA yet. However, we see them on the horizon, they're coming. Whether or not they come at the same time, I don't really know yet, but
Are they on is anybody on the agenda for the next
Not
meeting
yet.
that we know of? But they still have time to get on for the next meeting, yeah.
The one on Athens, I think, seems a little bit postponed, just because of the fact that they know that if they're going to need a second means of egress from that site. The fire department's very adamant about it, and so is the building department.
Yep, okay. Yeah, so it could be sometime, it's not gonna be right
Yeah.
this second, but I think something that Bob
it certainly is on the
wanted to talk
horizon,
about.
and we should at least get it out there, it's a possibility, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
and it might spread out the applicants, the other applicants too, if we, you know what I mean? You might
agreed.
have-
Right, one guy, one, or one.
So we can get to the
Next.
40B quicker.
Right.
In the evening, so we're not.
Right, yep,
Yeah, no, I think it's a good strategy based on, you know, the meeting frequency and cadence.
and you think wait to, I think like wait to do it until we do have to, because it does sound like, I mean, it could be 5 months before Athens is before us, and if Wallace gets on before that, and we can do it just with our regular meetings, and by the time Athens gets on, we could be done with what, like, we honestly, we don't know if that's gonna happen, so I think we wait until we absolutely do have two on the agenda. I mean, it could be winter before that
Yeah, it could be
happens.
February before we actually have an
which,
intersection meeting.
You know, maybe in the end, we won't need it, but
Right.
just to talk about
Ms.
it.
Bush, what do you think?
Oh, I think you're all raising the points that I had thought of. Will we get double the pay, though?
Yeah. Will our salaries double? Yes, salary doubled, doubling your salary, Ms. Bush.
Multiple,
Great question.
And vacation time.
We definitely will.
Sick time. Okay, but right now, we have nothing for
Yeah.
either
And
of
it,
them.
and it could turn out that we don't have it, but I just want to make you all aware of it, and it's
Do we
just certainly a
think Wallace
possibility.
is
Especially considering that we don't have alternates chosen yet. We did receive two
Well, it's gonna be
applications.
coming, but it's not
We're
gonna
obviously
be,
keeping it open
friendly.
for several months, so they're hoping to get more applications. They have like a pool to
I'm
select
pretty sure
from.
Wallace is going
But
to
what I
the
can
state.
say, speaking on that really quickly before we move on, is, again, if anybody wants to join the ZBA as an alternate, we'd love to have you.
Get it worked out.
We're looking for like a law school student possibly, or maybe a retired attorney, somebody that might have done this in the past, maybe with some real estate experience or some engineering experience possibly. But again, we'll welcome to try to see anybody that wants to come in and volunteer.
Yes, sure.
What we would ask, however, is if you do apply, it is just a simple form on the website, or, you know, you can put it in and say, I'd like to be interested. But if you can include a paragraph of why you would like to be chosen to be on the board, that would be helpful, just to kind of give us a little introductory. It's kind of hard to get the, you know, the person on paper when you only have name, address, and that they're interested, you know, so if they could include a paragraph of your intent, that would be kind of helpful. The other thing we have is, we did, Ms. Roach and I attend the Athens Street walkthrough this past week, and I think, honestly, I'll just defer to you. Do you want to discuss it first, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was a lot of, obviously, there was a lot of abutters. We also both, right, yeah, we went to the meeting that they had here for the question and answer
Correct.
period. I felt there was a lot of familiar faces. A lot of the people who came to that meeting were people who live in the neighborhood and people who came to see the walkthrough part of it. There was obviously a lot of concern about the water. I think, and Tom had just brought in that map where we looked, there's a considerable, like, little river. or yeah, there's wetlands, there's like a little brook that runs through that gets, you know, pretty full, so I'd say that was a pretty big
I think
concern.
there's actually three consistent brooks when that gets
Yeah, when it gets
overwhelmed with
wet.
rain up there, yeah.
Yep. And I think the Chief Coleman was very clear in his thoughts that there should be a second method of egress out of that development. I believe his words were, "That's a hill that I will die on," was his direct quote. You know, from a safety perspective, wanting to make sure there was some
And there
other,
was no second means even,
I think the residents felt like Athens Street should be the
that's, yeah.
least used, if that's the right way
The
to say it,
intersection says
and
the same.
entrance and exit. That's a very narrow street. And I can certainly say that when we were there, a lot of us, you guys were all there, and the cars were parked on both sides of the road, and you almost can't even drive a car down the road when cars are parked. Everybody who came was parked on the side of the street, so it was very tight over there. I think there was also some concern from Mr., is it Bugsby? Is that his name?
Busby.
Busby, the guy from the state, does exist, by the way. We saw him in person. And he felt like the way the buildings were set up, there's almost like one building here and then two very close together here, which is very close to the back of those neighbors on Athens. It seemed like he felt like they should shift it and not make one of the buildings so tight up to the neighbors. Obviously, the neighbors shared that concern, but it seemed like the state even had that, or at least he had that concern. He mentioned that. He mentioned finding a way to shift them a little bit differently. And I think the applicant understands, or I would hope that they do after that meeting, that I think that the plan that was originally submitted is probably not the one that we're going to end up seeing.
It certainly looks that way, hopefully.
I mean, hopefully,
Depending on the
I guess.
conversation at the state level. And again, these are conversations that will take place at the state level. They are not part of our.
Right, we have no, right, we don't know what's gonna come to us, but there was some concerns with the plans from both a water perspective and egress perspective, and just sort of, it seemed to be like location of the buildings. They are 4 stories, so we're back to the same 4-story conversation. They'll need those same waivers that we talked about on Perry Place. Same, they're a mix of, I think they're required to do 10, if I recall, they're required to do 10% 3 bedrooms. So there's, if it's 100,
come in, right, and he'll be able to move those buildings.
I think it was
it's like 190, so like 19
Spend the money.
bedrooms. Then it's like
Well, the
20 or
implication,
30%
no,
bedrooms,
those-
30% what,
those are
however that
different.
shakes down. Somebody asked that question, so they gave us kind of the breakdown of those. But it did seem like there was some, from a building department perspective and fire department perspective, they really wanted to see a second method of egress.
Well, and even as the chief said, not a second means of egress, the primary means of
Primary means, yeah, being
coming
on
the other way
Prospect Street.
and having Athens be the secondary.
Yes, right.
So what we kind of envisioned, if you, like, for the folks following along at home, we're talking about like Athens Street would be used as the, sort of the backup entryway like we have designed at the backside of Pappas Field off of Curtis Street, where they have it there, it's built, but there's a big, you have to unlock it.
It's like fence,
Swing the
oh,
gate,
yeah.
go through, it's a safety gate where police, fire, and emergency could use. Otherwise, it wouldn't be a primary source of egress, as they said. The issues that I also added to that conversation was, if you look at the intersection of Appleton Road and Route 20, it's much smaller than the Prospect Street intersection. There is no left and right turn arrows if you're trying to take across, if you're trying to cut across Route 20 to take a left and go up that hill to Appleton, they already don't have, so that whole intersection had to be rebuilt. They don't have a left turn arrow there. The other concern I have is people are gonna walk. You can't restrict people from being pedestrians. And coming from Walmart up that hill, there's a bend in the road that requires you to accelerate coming up the hill. And right where you hit Hertz and Appleton is where it levels out. And people driving up that street at a rate of speed to get up the hill are gonna be very hard pressed to put their brakes on at the very last second if somebody steps off that curb. Especially considering for this time of year, we're blind on Route 20. If you really think about it, like if you drive Route 20 right now, at this time of day, you're squinting and looking for your sunglasses. And from January to April, then in turn, that in particular corner is really black. It's very, very dark down there. So for somebody to come up, especially I've driven home where it's been pouring rain, sleet, snow, one of those dark and stormy nights, and that's a very, very difficult corner to see on.
Prospect intersection is way here.
Yeah, much better.
It's still, when I get a green light there, I still look both ways before I go, because people absolutely blow that light.
Yeah.
The
I've
fire
seen two
station
accidents.
obviously is
Yeah.
going to be there now,
Yeah.
you know, with the fire station going in there.
We're also
But
concerned
that's a
the
much
fact that
better
the fire
intersection.
station going in there, they would probably be able to improve that intersection substantially to include safe pedestrian traffic. You know, we actually even mentioned the possibility of a rotary there where the fire department can control all the lights on it. Again, these are all hypotheticals down the road, but we did express, we want the folks at home to know that we voiced our concerns after that meeting. The state has heard those concerns. The town is gonna put together a package of response, if they haven't already, I just haven't had the chance to speak to them. But all of the concerns that they collected, we're going as a formal response to the state.
Once again, terrible spot for a 40B project. At this magnitude, it's crazy.
It is.
Thank you.
Ramming them in. It's-
And nobody disagrees.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, that intersection is awful.
Thank you for the recap.
The May 15th flood that was in the paper, when it totally flooded through the chair. I have a video from Nancy G. Brown, one of the neighbors, that she took of the river going down, where they have to do the crossing if they came from Athens. And that's where the flooding was, actually, right at the bottom of that by Herb Chambers, where it got low. So like, you know, there's a lot of water that goes down there. And
That's a good segue to one of my comments. Thank you, Tom. I really appreciate the recap and the detail for it, because I was trying to get there. And I wasn't, I'll be blunt, I wasn't happy that it was literally smack in the middle of my day. You know, why this wasn't able to be pushed at a time when the rest of us are conducting business, so more people could go. But given that this is still with the state, do we know if this particular project on Athens has already been given the feasibility check?
It has not.
No, not even, Not even
Oh,
close.
thank you. And the reason why I bring that up is because, I mean, I think all of the points that you raise are fantastic points, but much like what we faced in the last one, and there's no comparison, but, I mean, this lot has water, constant water, and how they can get beyond conservation. And, I mean, you can't, I don't know how they dam that up. And so
Right.
I'm just wondering if the state has weighed in on that yet, on just the water and the conservation piece.
Well, they're going to weigh in, you know, being a contractor guy that has done a lot of that kind of work, it's amazing what these engineers and stuff can do with underground piping and storage and things like that, to be able to get around that. Everybody looks at that as such a hurdle, I go, well, they wouldn't really even be looking at this if they didn't feel that they had the engineering to be able to shut that water off, because that's the first thing we do when we look at a lot. You got to shut the water off, or it is just going to torch you.
Yeah, to
also
be
keep-
honest, I didn't think the state he didn't seem too concerned about the water.
No.
He more, I think, said they have to have a plan for that. Like, you know, their engineers have to come up with a plan to divert this, or, you know, capture this water, do something with this water, make sure this water is not going here, there, and everywhere, but he did not seem that he thought that was an impossible task.
That's
That's
the-
my
no, I
impression. If you
understand.
disagree,
That's the-
certainly.
No, I agree.
That's
I
the
didn't
running
think-
water, and I won't debate it tonight, but that's the running water. But the wetlands themselves
Right.
is entirely a separate topic.
But, you know, as I even said there now, the calculations that you have to do to manage your water is not like the 50-year storm, or it's a 100-year storm, which now is about every 10 years.
Right.
No, agree, but
Right.
I completely agree. But just
Yeah.
for our-
But I think they're challenged with the narrowness of the road, that the intersection being just too close, too dangerous. You know, we had the meeting with every town and with all the neighbors and stuff, and I had a picture, went off to Dory after that, because I was sitting up here, and it asked, well, how many of you have had accidents there? And almost everybody in the audience had their hand up.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, it's that dangerous.
Very.
And I will not go through, like you say. I stop at the light, it turns green, and then I inch out and look, and I've done that before, and a car whipped right by you.
Absolutely.
You know?
I mean,
Wall Street, I mean, it's,
no, agree.
If you allow the Athens Street entryway to be the primary entryway on this property, the length of Athens Street, taking a right and going down Appleton to Route 20, that particular section right there is not long enough or substantial enough to manage a backup
Right.
from Route 20. It's gonna plug that whole neighborhood up, literally, and the
And
houses on
life
Athens Street.
safety.
are
You
not.
gotta get
like-
fire apparatus up there, in and out, injuries, there's something bad going on up there, go, that's, that,
Taking their whole front yard, you know, so. Again, you know, but I know we're not gonna settle this issue tonight, and we're gonna be
No,
spending lots of time talking about this in the near
Agree,
future.
I'll save some of the other comments.
But just so you're under, you know, I want everybody at home to know that there's a constant, steady supply of information going in and out through the town hall, and people are constantly, literally constantly on this stuff. 40B has been a very consuming amount of time for the folks at the town hall here. So now, going on to the last one, is going back to our friends over at Perry Place. We found out that they, and I don't have the details, I want to be clear about that, but they did appeal our comprehensive permit. So I don't have any understanding right now how or why,
Would you guys like copies of that?
but, yeah, in a minute, please, thank you.
I could get.
That's okay.
I have a copy on my desk.
Sure.
So, next Wednesday, we have basically a Zoom meeting scheduled. Myself, a couple of people from the town, the attorney, and the State Housing Appeals Board. So we are gonna have a meeting early this week coming up, maybe Tuesday or Wednesday. They're still trying to work out the details. Because again, we're getting a 7-day notice. I just found out about this yesterday afternoon at close of business, literally, that we have a hearing scheduled for next Thursday. So we're scrambling to put all this correct information together first before we speak on it publicly. But I just want everybody to know that Perry Place is under appeal right now, so we'll take it from there, and then we'll keep everybody posted. So, just so you're aware of that. The last thing we have here, and I do not want to steal anyone's thunder, so I'm going to leave it very simply, is that we have worked on a comprehensive permitting guide for the town, for the this is going to be for basically anybody that needs it. So what I would ask you to do is just take this home with you, check it out and read it, and then next month it will get a formal introduction once Selectman Carpenter has completely signed off on it. I don't want to take anybody's thunder, and I don't want to reveal anything before it's actually gotten the, you know, the blessing from the author of intent here, I suppose. So if you want to just go ahead and read through this, and you can give us any comments, concerns, additions, subtractions, and then we can go from there for next month.
So, Mr. Chairman, is this still in draft?
I wouldn't call it in draft, I would just say it hasn't been introduced to the town yet, and I don't want to steal anybody's thunder. So that's pretty much what it really comes down to.
Who are
So-
the authors?
So there was a group of people that got together monthly over about a 6-month period. We all put this together. And it was actually at the request of Selectman Carpenter and the vice chair, I'm sorry, I forget it, Ann Kavanaugh, is that correct? I think so. I just want to make sure, I apologize if I didn't say that correctly.
I think that's right.
Correct, okay. They had requested a subcommittee to explore ways that we could improve the response from the town side and from the committee side on 40B. So Selectman Carpenter was great. He came months, he's been here like all the rest, you know, he showed up and we put all this together. But again, I want to make sure before he gets the final say before we really introduce it, so.
That's good.
Okay.
Awesome. Good work.
Other than that, I think we're okay. Do I have a motion to, do we have any other new business from anyone else here? Anyone else?
Just to follow up, Mr. Chairman, wondering if we were able to make any headway on sending a note to the selectmen to recognize Larry Chicola.
I believe that is in the works.
Okay.
So I did not get a chance to speak to, you see, nobody's here from the town. I think they're actually enjoying a breather because they knew it was going to be a quiet meeting.
Yeah.
And I believe that they may actually be enjoying a day off, one of them at least today. So I'll follow up with them, if not tomorrow, on Monday.
Okay, yeah, and not putting you on the spot for it. I mean,
No, but I know it's in the works.
I'm happy to join you if you need some support with it.
Oh, no, I think that it was well-received and they appreciated the idea.
Okay.
And do we want to vote on the 2 meetings a month?
I don't think we want to do that yet. I think we want to make sure because it may not come in.
Okay.
I just want you all to be aware of it and consider it, and then you can talk to the fams at home and, you know, make sure it's doable for everyone, yeah.
And I think let's see how it pans out, right? If it ends up that one comes first and there's gonna be an overlap of 2 months, that's one thing.
Yeah.
Having 2 meetings that go late is one thing. I don't know that I'd wanna go to 2 meetings a month if it was gonna be an overlap of 2 months. If it's gonna be 8 months, with the same two projects on the same track, then I think
Yeah,
that's something we need to
We'll weigh those
consider.
out at the
But,
time.
Okay.
you know what I mean? Let's see how the timing goes on those.
And again, we're looking for a couple of, we
Yeah.
did receive a couple of
Come
applications.
join us. We're a fun
Yes,
group.
Please. What we'd like to see, maybe if we got a law student out there, like I said, or a retired, who knows, maybe we got a retired judge at home that's bored, might want to come and have some fun with us.
Engineer too, I love that.
Engineer, yeah, absolutely.
Love it.
All right, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to close.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, thank you.